Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to make a video kind of showing you three different kinds of amps that can do the John Mayer type of tone. And these are all fractal tone matches, ones that I created of actual amps. And then I stuck some mics into my XFX3 and I tone matched them using the tone match block. So you're getting a pretty accurate representation of what the amp is doing. A lot of people think the fractal tone match block is just EQ match, and in some ways it kind of is, but I call it like a Uber IR essentially, because you are actually having the amp model separate from the capture or the tone match itself, which typical profiling and capturing can't mathematically do according to Cliff at Fractal. So take it for a grain of salt if you will, but that's just kind of what I read up on. So the purpose of the video, show you three different types of amps that can do the John Mayer thing, and then you decide which one suits your taste of John Mayer tone the most. First we have a 2-rock Crystal, and this is a brand new tone match pack that I just put out. It's a really great amp. It is the John Mayer 2-rock circuit in a combo version. Slightly different though because it has a Celestian Gold in it. And then we have a 2-rock traditional clean, which is basically a revamped version of the Crystal. And you get a few different features that are different, like you get a presence knob instead of a contour knob, you get the mid and you get the bass switches for changing those as well. Maybe a slightly different type of reverb as well, but they're both kind of like a lush spring reverb. And the last one, you can't see it on the floor, but this is my own personal PRS JMOD 100, and I think it's a highly underrated amp. Some John Mayer gear nerds kind of scoff at it, but when you turn it up to like gigging level, it is a beautiful amp. So that is the other one that I'm going to be showing you today. And everything can be played through this guy. This is my Michael Heirloom SX. And as you can see, it's like all worn and stuff. It's amazing. Love this guitar so much. So right here we're in X3 Edit, and I'm going to take you through all these different tone matches, which are available on my website, johnconcheroguitar.com. All right, the first one, the Crystal. So let's play just the basic clean tone. Now you could copy these settings right here on the amp block, but it's not going to do much good because the real magic is in the tone match IR that is provided. So try it if you want, but here are my settings. And I changed the tube type for this one, and then speaker impedance, the 4x12 rumble, and then nothing here. That's basically it. And then for everything, I'm using the brand new, really amazing Lush Spring, which to my ears is like the 2-rock type of tone for reverb. And really I just adjusted the time and the mix. That's it. All right, so just a little bit of noodling around. The first one we got is the Crystal. Sounds great. That's a clean tone, neck middle, and that was a neck pickup. All right, let's go to the next one, which is the traditional clean. And everything was mic'd up with SM57 and Royer 121. All right, traditional clean. Let's go to it. Neck pickup. All right, and let's go to the last one. This is the JMOD. And all these are roughly kind of like John Mayer settings. Neck pickup. All right, let's just talk about them really quick, and then I'm going to start adding some gain to this. I'd say the beefiest, thickest of them all would be the crystal. You can hear in the low end. Let's go to neck pickup. You hear all that deep low end. Let's go to the traditional clean. Still plenty of low end, and this is with the deep switch on. That's kind of typical jam style. And then this guy, the PRS, which has a equal amount of low end. Personally, it's just maybe a little bit tighter. Maybe what I'm going to do later on is I'm going to mic up a 2x12 cab with similar speakers, G1265s. That's going to be coming on Friday, and maybe I can put out an update for the PRS. But overall, I would say the PRS has a much stiffer feel to it. It's like compare that to the crystal. And then comparing that one more time to this is the 2-Rock traditional clean. So there's like, I'd say a little bit more of a bounce in the PRS. The traditional clean, I would say overall it's a little bit more balanced, maybe not as boomy in the low end. And then the crystal has way more boominess, which is pretty indicative of that John Mayer 2-Rock signature circuit. Let's go ahead and we're going to add, let's go ahead and add a tube screamer. And let's start with the crystal. And let's see what we could play. Traditional clean. PRS. So once again, there's just a tightness, a focus to the PRS that I don't think any of the others have. I would say the next one that's probably a little bit more focused is the traditional clean. Again, it's just kind of more balanced overall, even though it has the deep switch going on. Crystal. Back to traditional clean. Crystal. And just for funsies, let's go back to the JMOD. All right, now let's go ahead and take it to the last level here. We'll go through all of them in kind of a solo type of tone with the Klon Chiron, the Klon style. All right, let's do it. Traditional clean. JMOD. And let's go ahead and turn these guys off. All right, so when you get more of that low end, like in the crystal, you're gonna compress a little bit more, maybe not as much note definition. So I'm getting a lot more note definition in the traditional clean and the JMOD, maybe a little bit more gain in the JMOD. That's just kind of how I set the first volume or the gain knob on that. Let's go ahead and see how it reacts to the neck middle position. Actually, that's also another telling thing, because when you have a lot of gain, sometimes they can get overly muddy. So let's see which one has more note definition. So let's go here, back to the crystal. Traditional clean. And JMOD. All right, so there you have it. We've kind of gone through a lot of different tones, clean, kind of light gain, and then you got the solo type of tone. Gave you my opinion. Overall, I think it will be a much more fair comparison once I tone match the JMOD using the 2x12, because I think that that amp just needs more power from some speakers, just to get that low end to come through a little bit more. I tone matched it by using the traditional clean cabinet, which is just a 1x12 with the G12 65 in there. So hopefully that will kind of even things out a little bit. But personally, I really like the traditional clean, JMOD as well. They're both really great amps. The crystal is great. I think that one is more meant to be paired with another amp to kind of even things out a little bit more. But I would say like the JMOD and the traditional clean are the more well-rounded amps for a John Mayer type of tone. What I'm going to do later on is I'm going to have the actual amps going with their cabs, or maybe with the aux box. So we're just getting the actual cabs, no digital recreation, and see how they compare maybe in a later video. But once again, if you're interested in these tone matches, they're available on johncontroguitar.com, and we'll see you next time.